Well, hello, wealthy women. I'm actually so excited to bring you this interview today. Erin is an amazing help when it comes to creating things that you need that are so important for your business, to up level your business, to get the SEO proper, the websites, the this, that, and the other thing. She really has so much knowledge in different areas that she can help you building your business, helping you to grow your business. And I just can't wait to introduce you. So rather than me go on and on, I'm going to pass the camera over right now. And Erin is going to give you a whole look at all of the services that she can help you with and how she can help you grow your business and where you can find her so that you can connect with her and get the chance to potentially work with her. So, Erin, go ahead and take it away and tell us all about your work and what you do and how you help others and where they can find you.
Thank you so much for that glowing introduction. My name, once again, is Erin Hagan. I am the owner of Very TARDIS Marketing, and I really love helping small businesses thrive. How do I do that? With digital marketing. I believe digital marketing is just a really great way to help promote a business and to really differentiate itself in the marketplace so that businesses get to showcase their amazing services and products to help people who need them and who will find their services to be the thing that really, elevates their lives. Um, the digital marketing that I offer is pretty comprehensive. So I have a background in copywriting and SEO. And I also have a background with languages, which means that when I do copywriting, I offer it in a way that means that you can translate it. Some people come from different backgrounds, or they want to reach a global marketplace, and being able to have writing that's ready to be translated really saves them time and energy and effort so that they have one less thing on their plate and they can just move forward with continuing to put out amazing products and services. So, that's just the first tier of things that I offer. I also offer web design. So if you know anything at all about web design, you know that there is UI UX web design, meaning that it's designed for user experience and interface so that your users, whenever they go to your website, find it simple, easy to use, and the easiest to go from point A, which is learning about you, to point B, which is making a sale or booking a call. So we create web designs with those things in mind, and I'm certified to work in the front end. So Squarespace, Wix, WordPress, all of those things are platforms that I'm capable of customizing for you, meaning we can add custom codes. So if there's something in a theme or a plugin that's working well but not quite perfect, we can go in and tweak it so that it meets your exact needs. I also offer social media assistance, so social media management, ads management, things of that nature, because social media is just as part of your messaging as your website is, and making sure that it is formulated to match the tone and messaging of your website is just as important as making sure that your website is on point. I also help people with marketing strategy because understanding how each of these pieces rotates and fits into place, making sure that everything that you put in motion is designed to meet your greatest goal is the way that we make sure that your marketing is going to be optimized and best used to get you what you need out of every dollar, every hour that you spend on. The final thing that I offer is CRM and email management. Your CRM, for those of you not familiar, is how you track how you reach out to people and if they respond to you. If you're anything like me, you send out thousands of emails, you DM thousands of people, and it's hard to keep track of the last time you talked to someone, let alone the last time that you messaged thousands of people. So, If you have an email list, if you have a new product launch, a CRM helps you keep track of all of those touch points and make sure that your campaign is reaching an appropriate number of people and that appropriate number of people are responding in turn. And email management goes hand in hand. Most email campaigns are connected to a CRM system, and integrating those two, if they're not the same program, can be a challenge. So I help you set that up so that you can launch your email campaign and know that the CRM is going to track it properly, that your email campaign is going to have that custom HTML that helps you embed videos or specific graphics. And that way you can just send off whatever you need without having to worry about it missing graphics or a button glitching or something like that. So
I
those are the full list of digital marketing tools that I offer, and I'm really glad that I get to help small businesses with those specific needs.
And what is your website again? And can you spell it out just in case someone's just listening?
Yes, my website is called verytardismarketing.com. That is VERITARDISmarketing.com.
Perfect. Wow. I tell you, you are like an all-inclusive agency. And what I love about your work, obviously, is the knowledge and expertise you have. But there's so many business owners that are just so passionate about what they're doing, and they're not necessarily strong in all of the skill sets needed, like what you offer, but they really need that help in getting their work out there, the content, the voice, the branding, the way you are talking about marketing with social media. And you're like a lifesaver to them because this allows them to go ahead and do whatever it is that they're doing, whatever their work is that isn't related to, say, all of the business building aspects that digital marketing provides and is so necessary. And I think a lot of people do get a little bit lost and overwhelmed trying to do all these things on their own, and maybe they only have a small amount of success because that's not their forte, that's not their zone of genius. And I love that your company basically covers nearly all aspects of everything that they would need to just basically launch themselves properly. And like you said, with small business owners, this is such a great thing for them because a lot of the times the business owners are, they might be solopreneurs or only have a couple people, and to have that vast knowledge of all the things that you have on top of what they're already doing is it overwhelm, let's just put it that way. Or they could be years in the weeds trying to figure it out and piece it all together. And I just love that you have a service that can help them. And it's obviously you can feel your passion that you want to help those business owners. And the fact that you can do it in multiple languages is amazing because we have such a global market now and so many women business owners from all around the world that, probably felt more left behind because they might have had that language barrier. And knowing that your services covers that, I mean, it's a big deal that you're doing this. And I'm just curious, how did you come to get involved in this type of business? Like, what was it that just really uh, enticed you to help in this regard?
Well, I did not originally go to school to learn marketing. I'm one of those people who kind of fell into the niche of marketing. I actually went to school for communications and linguistics. So I went to school to study languages. Um, by the time I graduated college, I had certifications in 4 languages, um, and decided to pursue another two after I got done with college. Um, and it was during that pursuit of another 2 languages. I was living abroad. I was looking for work, and I was meeting a lot of expats, a lot of people who were also from a foreign country, also living abroad. And this was, forgive me for dating myself, way back in the days of 2016. WordPress was fairly new on the market. People were thinking about travel blogs, but it really wasn't like a career. And I was getting people who were wanting help setting up their travel blog, who were wanting help teaching people about tourism, who were wanting to teach people about travel photography. And so they wanted to reach an audience both in the country they were in, their home audience, and then also in English, simply because it's the most common language used in the world today. And so we were running into an issue of how do you write in English, in their native tongue, and in Japanese, which is the country I was living in, have it all mesh well and have it all have minimal translative problems. Because if you're translating into multiple languages, that's often a problem you run into. So one thing led to another, and I started crafting copy and doing web design so that translating and reaching audiences across different cultures could be
Mhm.
done more easily. So filtering out certain colors, making sure that certain symbols aren't used, and then also making sure that the copy that's created is easily translated into multiple languages. My native tongue is English, but making sure that English isn't too complicated, isn't too full of metaphors, similes,
Yeah.
and all the things we love can be a challenge for Native American speakers. So
Wow.
that is how I actually got my start into marketing as we know it.
Wow.
The SEO, the social media management, the CRM, those are skills I added because I saw that they were needed. But I actually got my start in basic copy and simple web design.
Wow. I love this story. And it just shows you how we evolve as business owners, right? We start on one path and we follow it and we learn as we go. And then we realize, oh, let's switch it around a little. There's a need here, and I know that I can help others. And I think it is such a beautiful experience. The journey of and there's so many iterations of how we start and where we wind up, and you can see how it all gets pieced together based on our original like learning or passions, and sometimes we come full circle but in a different platform altogether. Like my background was as an elementary teacher. I'm not doing that now, but I'm a coach. So it's like it's a different type of helping others. And I just find that, what we start out as doesn't typically stay stagnant. It's growth the whole way, which is part of being a business owner, right? Like you zigzag your way to success. It's never a straight line. And I think we can kind of go into some success questions here because I love this journey that you took, and it just shows you. Talk to me about that kind of thing. Like a lot of business owners, they think that they have to, they set a goal and that is the only goal, and they're hard on themselves, or they're not being flexible enough. Can you share some of the benefits of maybe being flexible with your goals and your business plans, and how that actually can be a good thing to not be so structured?
Sure. So there are a few benefits to my unusual marketing journey. Because I started out working with people of various industries, I never became a niched marketer.
Mm,
Yeah, that's number the one thing that you probably hear marketers talk about. They
yeah.
specialize in one part of digital marketing and maybe one or two industries. And my lack of niche in that way means that I've broadened my marketing skills and I haven't pushed away learning certain aspects of digital marketing simply because they don't fit my niche. Instead, I said my niche is an umbrella and I'm going to learn all the little arms that are affiliated with it, which means that I also have the ability to upsell people. Um, if somebody comes to me for copywriting, I'm happy to provide that service if that's all they need. But a lot of times, what I'll see if I'm writing for someone, maybe their website does need a little bit of a rework. Maybe there is a button that they have on their website that sometimes glitches or that doesn't give a download properly. And paying for a full-scale developer to come in and mess around on their site can be very expensive. I can instead offer them, hey, I'll go in and fix this one specific thing, and instead of paying for my retainer rate, we can do an hourly. And that gives them the flexibility of getting a big fix done while they're already paying me for copywriting. Or I'll run into people who want a blog, but they also need social media to promote said blog. But their social media is not easily translatable, but the blog is supposed to be. So I tell them, hey, I can craft social media posts. I don't have to implement them if you have an implementer, but I can craft those that can be translated for you and get them translated ahead of time. So if you want to start reaching to that multilinguistic, that multicultural market, we can make that easy step because I've already written the blog to reach that audience for you. I'll also run into people who have a new product. They've gotten the description in a language in English that can be translated, but their email campaign, they've never written so that it can be translated, and they're not really sure how to do that launch. They don't necessarily need me to do their entire campaign, but they do need me to edit their existing email campaign and make sure that those easily translatable things are brought into their email campaign. So even though I'm not doing the full CRM management, I am going in and making sure that their email meets the same criteria as their product description so they can have a smooth launch. I find that being able to offer all of those skills means I'm offering more comprehensive help to people. Um, and I find that one thing usually leads to another. Your business is often interconnected, and all of its pieces are something that connect and help build each other up to reach your ultimate goal. So making sure that those pieces, as they interconnect with each other, are leading you in the way that you want to go is important to me. So making sure that I can be there for different steps along the way is really how I like to do business. Simply because it makes me feel like I'm offering you the best amount of skills that I have to offer.
I love this for many reasons. One, the person gets to build that initial relationship with you and you kind of get to know each other and what is needed. And then you, because you have the ability to see what might be lacking with them, they might not even see it, but you see it. You can help them in that kind of one-stop shop way, which is so helpful because one, it helps them avoid overwhelm. You know, when you have too many people you have to so-called hire to do separate things, that is overwhelming to people. And I know most business owners, overwhelm is one of the things we really need to sidestep because it can kind of really put you at a slow pace to really get yourself out there and started and efficient and earning money and revenue so your business can grow and thrive. And I love this idea that you can help them with all the, even if it's just a little tweak, you know, like you don't have to, they don't have to hire a huge team to fix one little broken part. They can rely on you to do that and get up and running and go. So I can see the relationship that you must really have with your clients, that it is really personal, and you have so much awareness of what they need, and you help them, and you know, and it's a fair relationship because you know you're just helping them with the things that are necessary. You're not overselling them things they don't need or overcharging them for things they don't need. You're helping them with specific things and then tweaking along the way. And you create this full service agency type of thing for them. And, you know, I can see the loyalty of working with you for the long haul. So I love this philosophy. And I love so much that you have this ability to help all the people that need the help with the language and the translations and so forth on all the different parts like you're talking about. Like your blog might be translatable and readable, but then do your social media posts match it? Does your email marketing match it? And these are all such important factors. So I love that we kind of branched on that because I just wanted to let people know that how you think you're going to start your business isn't how you're necessarily going to evolve into it, and just let it happen, organically, the way your business is supposed to build up and be there for your clients, right? And learn more so you can help more. So, okay, so I'm going to get into some really cool success questions officially now. So, but thank you. I love the work that you're doing. It's tremendously helpful to those that are really needing that. And I don't know many business owners that don't need what you're offering. So it's a really great thing that you have going.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I have some digital marketing background myself, so I know how important these things are to a business owner, and they don't always see what they can't see. And it's nice that you have the eyes to help them see how they can best uh, put their best business forward, basically, right? Okay, first success question. Obviously, building your own business has enriched your life. What is the number one way that you would say it has enriched your life? And the second question to that is, why would you encourage another woman to open her own business for that sense of empowerment and enrichment?
Wow, that is an excellent question. Um, so there are a few ways in which the business has enriched my life. For one, it has banished a lot of my self-doubt. Um, and it's banished a lot of my confidence issues. Um, you know, I you have to be confident to a certain extent to learn a foreign language anyway. You have to give yourself a lot of grace with that. Being a business owner, take that to the 10th degree. Because real talk here, we're gonna fail. We're gonna have a flop. We're going to go to a networking room and automatically feel out of place, out of touch, and somebody's going to ask you a question and you're going to feel so inadequate because you don't know the answer, or the answer that you give is just so small and it's hard. Like, real talk, you're going to have a day where you're going to want to go in the bathroom at a networking event and probably cry. Yeah, been
Yeah.
there, done that.
Hmm.
Um, and you know, being in business, I've been in business for 7 years now, you know, and yeah, occasionally I still have days like that.
Yeah.
But now I don't have that issue of, is my service worth what I'm charging for it? No, it is. Is my offer worth telling people? Yes, it is. My industry, my niche, if you will, even though I'm more of a generalist, is small business owners. I love that market. I love getting to see the passion people have for their business. I love getting to see them build something real out of a concept that they
Yeah.
came up with by themselves. I think it is an amazing journey and I love being a part of it. But in the marketing space, I keep hearing people talk about how they charge one client 10K. Like, and I'm lucky if I break 10K in a month. That's just the small business market. If I really want to offer them bespoke marketing stuff, I don't have time to be building 10K packages. Most of my packages are under 5K. And I'm focusing on maybe 3 clients in a month, depending on the level of skill and assistance that they need.
Right.
So 10K months are not normal for me. 10K months are rare. And so it's easy for me to feel a little bit like, do I have a right to be in this space? Because there are people who are making like $1 million doing marketing. And here I am, you know, talking about not making near that much. And the answer is yes, because
Yes.
I'm doing what I love. I am proud of the work that I put out and the services that I offer. Yeah, they're not in the 7-figure range, but guess what? They're still absolutely necessary. And I'm very happy with myself and my life at the end of the day. And for me, there's no reason not to talk about it. Um, so yes, take that self-doubt and kick it to the curb. Know exactly what you're worth and be absolutely confident in the fact that what you're doing is helping your market. Maybe it's not everyone, but not everyone is your market. As a marketer, that's what I'm going to tell you anyway. So I need to take my own advice in that space and say, not everyone is my market. And just because not everyone is my market does not mean I need to be worried about everyone else's opinion of what I'm offering.
Wow, Erin, you just said everything of what is true definition of success. I am so proud of this answer that you just gave because it covered everything. First of all, success is your creation. And like you said, what makes you happy at the end of the day, doing what you love, helping others, calling your own shots, feeling proud and confident in what you offer, not comparing yourself to others, staying in your lane and just being joyful that you get to be in that lane that you created for yourself and knowing that you are a benefit to other people. This is so important on so many levels. You just really kind of covered so many parts of it because this is the true definition of success. And it's funny because I've had even a couple people ask me, I would say I would like to interview you for my book and my podcast. It's called Success Stories. And they would be like, I've had a couple people, well, I haven't really made this such and such money. And it dawned on me that because my definition of success is yours. Everything you just said spoke to my soul and my heart. Success is the freedom to do and be what your true passion is. And it's not about how much shows up in your bank account. It's helpful, but the biggest success in life is that you feel good in what you're doing and you know you're serving and you wake up with bounce in your step, basically. And so I've had to email back a couple of people that responded with that. Well, I'm not, I haven't made this much money, so I don't know if you consider that a success. And I was like, oh, I have to let them know what my definition of success is. And pretty much it's exactly what you just said. So this is so helpful for everybody listening because they're so hard on themselves or they see all of the Instagram stories about all the things, and not all of them are true, first of all, people. So don't always believe everything that you're seeing. But even if it were all true, it doesn't matter. You are in your own you're your own self competition. You should only try and be better than you were yesterday. That's the only competition that you should focus on for yourself to just keep going forward. So Erin, this was absolutely the most beautiful answer. And I'm so happy for you. Like, this makes me so happy that you have found your joy in what you're doing. And look at your radiant, like you're just, you can see it. Your eyes are twinkling, your smile. This is happiness, women. Yes, we need to make money, of course, for independence, all those things, but there's so many levels of what success is. And Erin, you are living that success and you're a beautiful role model for that. So this is why we both encourage all of you to go for your businesses and continue on your journey. Make sure that you're living your soul's purpose because you want to be on the right road, not the wrong road. So check in with yourself and just keep going forward with your dreams if you are just passionate about it. So love this, love this. Okay, so here's another success question. What empowering routines do you do every single day that sets yourself up for the success that you want for yourself?
Oh, another tough one. Full disclosure.
Mhm.
So all those girlies who are neurodivergent like me don't feel alone. I have ADHD. And so I actually really struggle with daily routines. I do have a few things that I do every day so that I can take the days when my ADHD decides to be uncooperative and make it as cooperative as I can. But I also want to be fully disclosuring in the fact that these are my ADHD coping mechanisms. And just because they work for me does not mean they will work for your particular brand of neurospicy. So don't feel bad if you try it and it hits flat for you. Instead, modify it, find the right version that works for you. Okay, just giving that out there because
Yeah,
neurospicy means that we've had to try a lot of things.
yeah, yes.
So, what I love to do is every morning, I take time to walk my dogs. I have 2 dogs. They are my special people. When I'm all tired of other people, they're who I go to get the unadulterated affection and love that I need without judgment.
I love
So
this.
every
I get
morning,
it. Yep.
we take at least 15 minutes and we go for a walk. Unplugged, no music, no, we don't have a certain distance we're walking. I just want to let them be outside, sniff the grass, meander around. We do it for about 15 minutes and then we come in. I'm also a meal prepper because I can't make decisions in the moment to save my life. So breakfast is already done. So we do our 15-minute walk. I come in, I have breakfast, and then I do my morning self-care. So we're talking about brushing teeth, washing the face, and while I'm doing those things, that's when I start. I have an app that lists out the main things I want to do for the day. I list it the night before, and then what I do, because me, I take that list and I say, okay, let's say the list has 20 things on it. We got 5 things we want to knock off this list. Pick the 5 things that make me feel the least drained, the least, I don't know if I can tackle that today. We're going to tackle those 5 things. And when those 5 things are tackled, we go back to the list and pick a couple more. That way I don't feel the pressure of all 20 things on the list, but I know I can come back and pick up more things if I'm able to tackle those 5 things that were easiest for me to do that day. That way, even if I don't find the strength and the motivation and the energy to do those other things, I know I still got at least 5 things done. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like I completely wasted it.
I love that. And that's quite impressive. And I love also that you're talking about you're aware. Self-awareness is key. So, like you just said, I know that it's hard for me to make a decision about my meals in the moment. So, I am therefore going to um, plan ahead. This is important, that self-awareness, because you're setting yourself up for success. And I get what you're saying because we all have those days, right, when we're a little off and we just can only move so far, right? There are some days where, like Wonder Woman, we're like, wow, where'd that come from? We're accomplishing and, taking over cities and creating new things and all the things. But then there's those days where we're just a little off. And I always said, sometimes it's not a bad idea to design your when you're having your in response to your most off, when you're just not feeling it, because then you know that no matter what, you can at least accomplish that across every day. So I love this idea. Like you said, you have 20 and you pick 5, which I think is extremely successful. I think a lot of people are hoping to get through 3 if possible. So this is a really super cool, and that you're preparing in advance to meet yourself where you are, and and being flexible with yourself and being honest also, because you said you'll look at your list of 20 and you're like, what am I actually really capable of? How much power do I have today? What am I in the mood for? What am I inspired by? What really needs to happen? And that is self-love in action. Basically, that is realizing you're not a robot. You're not here to just check things off and not understand your humanness and what you need and how that actually does change on a daily, if not hourly basis, right? But you still meet yourself where you are. So I think this is really good advice for all of us, because again, it allows us to be human and not be so harsh on ourselves when we don't accomplish all the things. And that kind of goes back to what we spoke about before. Your business might start as one idea and you zigzag, and all of a sudden it becomes this evolution of something completely different. And you need to allow yourself that space, right? And that
Yeah.
grace to kind of move in the direction that your heart and passions and inspirations are moving you, and you can trust them, right? You can trust that inspiration in your heart to lead you in the right place. So really, I mean, your answers really have really depth to them, because it's saying a lot about the way you treat and value yourself, which is spot on, fantastic. So if people are listening to this, they need to go a little deeper in what you're saying, because what what you're really showing up with is major self-confidence, self-love, self-care, self-awareness. You're you're really leading yourself properly with like being your own best friend. I guess that's what it comes off at. You are like being your own best friend and communicating yourself in that way and moving yourself forward in that way. And I think that's beautiful. So anyway, okay, back to the questions. Um, in the beginning, when you first started your business, your digital marketing, when you kind of got it all going, what was the original first way you started marketing your business, and what would you encourage maybe to others? I know you mentioned networking a lot before, so like, but your initial experience, because a lot of women
Okay.
get overwhelmed with all the
Yeah.
things.
Well, and actually, I had to do this twice. So I'll tell you how I did it both times because once I explain, you'll understand. When I first started my business, I was living in Japan. So I was not marketing to an American market. I was not reaching out to people with a 14-hour time difference from me and expecting to get a response. So, yeah. And marketing in Japan in a foreign country is completely different than marketing in America. So, just gonna flat out say that. I actually focused on meeting people in a simple way. So I went on Facebook, I went on apps like Meetup, and I met up with expats. I met up with bloggers. I went on the Facebook groups where they were like expats living in Kyoto, Japan. And they were like, hey, let's go get tea and coffee because I need to speak to people who aren't Japanese. And you just let those flow naturally. You don't make it a sales call. Instead, you say, hey, what are you doing while you're here? What are your interests? And a lot of what I was seeing is people who are like, hey, I am backpacking in Japan because I love backpacking. But a lot of people who are starting out backpacking don't know what to bring, are confused about what, equipment works best. I would love to start a blog so that people who are interested in backpacking across Japan have a list of resources, have, you know, a great list of places to visit, know the best places if they need specific equipment, all those kinds of things, the ins and outs of how to do it. But I don't know enough to build a blog. I don't know how to write to build a blog. And sometimes when I'm traveling, I don't have internet access. So it turns into, hey, while you're still in Kyoto, let's meet up at an internet cafe. Let's look at what you've got already on paper and let's see how we can tweak that and turn it into something more. Um, and that's kind of how it all started. It
I love
started
that.
with,
A
hey,
genuine
this is
conversation.
how, I meet a need I'm seeing in people that I meet.
Yeah,
Um, and it was also because I was a broke student. Gonna be
yeah.
real with you.
Yes,
You're in foreign country and you are a student, you are double broke
yeah.
because you don't know the traditional ways of making money. It's hard for you to get a job because you don't fit the normal criteria of college student looking for work. You know,
True.
it's really hard for you to go and work a traditional food job or to go and work a
Yes.
traditional retail job when you're in the country to learn the language.
Yes, and especially, of
You don't
course, when
know
your
enough.
language skills aren't up yet to par. But
Mhm.
but I love what you said about like your early marketing just became a conversation that not only was about attracting new business to you, but it was something you inherently needed to. You needed your tribe. You needed to talk to people that got you and understood you. And then through those natural conversations, you could see a need and you could, offer in a nice calm, non-salesy sort of way. Hey, I can help you with that. Let's look at what you have here. And it just evolved into this organic situation, which is quite
Mhm.
lovely, and how really everything should really begin and have that preface. So I think that's a great way. Yeah.
I got really lucky with that kind of launch marketing. Also, the city I was living in is the second largest city in Japan, so there were a
Oh,
lot of travelers in there. I really fell into that market very easily.
yeah.
The
Yes.
struggle came when I went back to America.
Yeah, right. You think it might be
I moved
easier
back.
because you're on your own turf, right?
Well, I moved back and it was actually harder.
Yeah.
I came back to the United States after my final semester. I'd actually been working abroad, like actually had a job, and I was just doing marketing, you know, as a side gig. And then, you know, family drama happened. Not that I'm unhappy that I came back, but it was not the plan.
I
Uh,
see.
my grandmother got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and my parents needed extra help with her. My brother was still in college,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, say less. It's done. I'm there. So I come back home, and I come back to a city that's not multicultural. I'm solidly in the Midwest.
Uh-huh.
And not just anywhere in the Midwest, Southern Indiana, which I just heard some people just immediately be like, I feel that. Yeah. So I went somewhere where I had the ability to use my language skills, where I had that ability to do easy in-person networking with a multicultural group, to basically, somewhere where none of that's needed.
So how
Um,
did you
so
overcome that? How did you get back into your swing of what your assets were and let them shine again, even though you had a new scenario? Because this can happen to, this is great advice what you're probably about to give, because I'm sure that there's more than a few people here that have kind of had to all of a sudden take a pause or a change of direction. And how did you navigate that? Because that's definitely a change of scenario for sure. But bless you for taking care of your family, because this is what it's about. So,
yeah. Well, instead, I made myself a list.
mm,
I decided I can't reach the market I was in. Backpackers, travel bloggers, photographers, that kind of market I can't reach anymore. I don't have the access here, and I'm not willing to invest the money it would require to reach that market. So instead, what did I like about that market? What did I enjoy about that work?
mm,
And I decided what I really enjoyed was helping people go from, this is a need I see, this is something I know I can meet. How do we combine those two and make something real? And even though it is digital, even though it is both those things, technically it's not real, but it was. It was
right,
still something tangible to them. It still
absolutely.
met a need. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, that's what I like doing. So let's figure out what I can do with that in a space here. So it started out pretty simple. I reached out to my local business college, people who are at inception.
Yes.
We have a local community college. We have some local universities. City's not huge, but students are everywhere. So I'm like, hey, what could I do to reach that market? There's people who are at inception and really need this. So what I did is I did a lunch and learn about how to launch a blog and make it successful. Because most businesses, even if they're not travel bloggers, do like having a blog, do like having it be successful, do like all the delineations from it. So went and gave that little lunch and learn at the local business college. And that's when I also learned I needed to adjust price points because students are broke regardless of what country they're in. And so I
Mm-hmm.
went, okay, I need to adjust my financial expectations if I'm going to be working in this, we're at the bottom tier of startups.
Right. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Um, so went into it with that understanding, with feeling out the market, started with that lunch and learn, and that's how I started growing an email list. From there, students talk, they're their own network. They really are. So I would get students who would be like, hey, you gave us a lunch and learn, but I have a friend who's over at the college across the town, and their college needs somebody to talk to them about this. I'm going to give you their email, and they can connect you with whomever you need to talk to do a second lunch and
Oh, and there it goes. And
learn.
referral business
And
happens.
what I started doing is that's when I started getting on socials, getting on email marketing campaigns because I was getting email addresses as part
Yeah.
of this work. And I was like, I need to leverage this.
Yes.
I I need to build that. I need to turn that into something. I need to give people a way of saying, hey, this person gave me their email, but I don't know anything about them. Let me stalk them on
Yes.
social media. There needed to be something there for them to read.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And,
Mhm.
I get that it was kind of reverse intuitive because I went from a very easy marketing to a completely new niche, a completely new market, and in a country where I'd never had to market myself before. So give yourself a little grace when it comes to marketing, and you don't have to have everything already done by the time you launch something. Like, it's great if you could. In a perfect world, we all would. But guess what? People are still going to buy your stuff, even if you don't have time on social media. People are still going to buy your stuff, even if your email list is a little small. And by small, I mean like 10 people. People will still
Yes.
respond. So, you know, give yourselves a little bit of grace, especially whenever you're first starting out like that. Um, there's no shame. Uh, and from there, it basically grew. I would get these small business owners, these kids in business school who would launch a business, and they'd come up to me later and they're like, "Hey, did you know there was this networking thing in town?" And I was like, "No, no, I
Wow.
didn't, because I'm working with colleges." And they're like, "You should come because guess what? These other people, they're solopreneurs and they don't know anything about marketing."
There you go. I love this. So again, there is gold in everything that you just said because basically you were taken out of your comfort zone where you were functioning and you liked the function of the way you were functioning and you had to basically kind of restart, readapt, and you figured it out and you thought about it and you said, okay, I might not be able to do everything the way it was, but what can I take from that and still apply here? And the fact that you had to go into a whole new marketplace and still found your success meant that you could reinvent your business over and over and over again, no matter where you wind up. And that gives you confidence. That's a skill set. That's an attitude of acceptance and change and flexibility and adaptability. And these are all major important factors to being a business owner because things are going to come up that you didn't expect, that you maybe didn't want, but you have to figure out how to find the gift, right? Find the blessing in the mess or whatever that saying is. Great advice. Love it. And then you paid attention and you nurtured it and you realized, okay, I have something here, but you were also looking at it from your audience's perspective. Like you said, okay, my name's getting out there. They're going to want to know, who is this person? I need to put some stuff out there so they can get to know me. So you were meeting them where you assumed they would show up and be, which is great because then you had a little bit of a longer path thinking and you got in front of it. And this is important too. You showed up before maybe they showed up and you were prepared. And there's a just really love the insight, the intuitions, the introspections, and the adaptability. Everything that you're talking about is just pure um success in what you need to make your business work. And again, like you said, it doesn't matter the size of your payouts, the size of your email list, the size of your social media account. Every business owner has people that need them, and your tribe will find you or you will find your tribe. And that's why people don't also have to be obsessed with that they don't have a million and one followers or that they're behind in some way, because you have the skill sets to help others, and those it will you will find each other. And I love what you're saying because you're proof of that. So I have two more questions for you before we sign off. So one is a good one. It comes to pretty much visibility. A lot of business owners are nervous about showing up for Facebook lives or whatever it might be. So how would you suggest, or how did you also deal with that fear and doubt when you first went visible in your business?
Well, I will be honest, not well. Yeah. Uh, I really struggled with that because I would walk into rooms and not to be that way, but it's just reality. Southern Indiana is not the most culturally diverse place. So when I walk into a room, usually I'm the only person of color there. Struggled with that for a really long time. Um, of like internally automatically othering myself, of being like, I don't know if any of my life experiences are gonna resonate with these people. I don't know how I'm gonna bridge that gap. Um, and for that matter, it was also just this feeling of I heard other marketers talk, and I was like, I don't have any of these things. I don't have formalized packages. I don't have an onboarding process. Like I would hear people talk about these things, and I was like, I don't have any of that crap. Like I have, hey, I heard you do marketing for people in college who want to learn how to launch a business. Come talk to them. Like that's the level of
Yeah.
marketing I was doing. So like I just felt so imposter syndrome-y. I was like, can I even call myself a marketer? Like, what am I even doing in this space right now? Um, and instead it took a lot of, you know, taking a step back and realizing, hey, like, yeah, they have all those things. And yeah, they are serving their market, but I'm serving my market too. Like, they wouldn't be telling me to talk to people if they didn't think that the things that I was offering them were worth things. Like, yeah, it sounds
Yes.
nebulous, but that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. People don't tell people to go talk to someone or buy their product or look at their services deeper if they don't think their services or product are worth what they're putting into it. They just don't.
Yeah, I love what you
So,
said about imposter syndrome too, because this comes up so much. And I love that you said that you feel it. And sometimes you doubt yourself. And then you had to remind yourself, well, they wouldn't ask me to talk unless I had something worthwhile to say. And I've had those moments too where I doubted my own self. And I suggest this to all. We all have some sort of testimonials from people that we've helped. And so if I was having an off day or something didn't go right, let's say with one client, they got upset on something and I got too sensitive about it and questioned myself. I will go back sometimes and listen to my reviews from my clients, and it will remind me, oh, wait, I am helping. I can help. Okay, I'm feeling better now. And but you need to kind of prop yourself up sometimes, right? When you're feeling this
yeah.
imposter syndrome or
And
nervous energy.
sometimes it's whenever you buckle down and do the work and you're like, hey, I felt so bad after that networking event, or I felt so bad after reading that person's post. Like they have it all together, and I can barely adult. Like I'm lucky if I remembered to get my laundry out of the hamper after I washed and dried it. Like it didn't even make it to the drawer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't even function as an adult. And this person's over
Yeah.
here talking about like their intro email sequencing gained them
Yes.
like 10K followers. And I was like, I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And you know what? I take that day and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna buckle down. I'm gonna do my 5 tasks. I'm gonna do the work. And then I'm just gonna sit down and just let it be. And then I get an email back, right? Like after I did my work. And they're like, oh my gosh, I love what you did. And I was like, you
Yes.
know what? That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to play that social media compare game. I'm not here to match that marketer's market. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is put out what I'm putting out for the people I'm putting it out for, and know
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, if I did it right, if I did it well, they're going to email me back and say, I love this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love
And
that. Love it.
that's what I
Love
need.
it. That's it. That's it.
Um,
And we also have to take into account, like what you're saying, like onboarding sequences or intro and outros to your podcast, all those things where you're like, oh my goodness, I don't have that. I don't have that yet. Well, there was a day one for that person too, and they didn't have it also. And it is a process, and you'll eventually start to pull in more pieces and remind yourself, all of you beautiful business women out there, remind yourself to look back when you first started. And now look at where you are and how many things are in place that once confused you, where you doubted yourself because you didn't have it in place yet. And just know that as the time goes forward, you'll have that onboarding sequence at some point
Mhm.
in place. You'll have your intro and outros, or understand what that is, it even is, if you're not yet there. All of it'll come together, right? It will, it's a
Yeah,
process, it's a journey. There's no real arrival. So enjoy the process, just keep doing good in the world.
exactly.
And then my last question, I love to close on this, is what is a day, how do you define success in a day in your life? What does that look like?
Um, Well, for me, I don't have a traditional idea of what success is. For me, success isn't money. It's not, I closed X amount of projects this month. It's none of those things. For me, success is this. Am I happy? Am I healthy to the extent that I can control it? Am I functioning in society? Am I helping people while I do so? If the answer to those four questions is yes, then I'm a success. So I asked myself, did I do something to make myself happy today? If I did, great. If I didn't, the day's not over yet. Let's take 5 minutes and do something to make ourselves happy. Two, um, you know, did I do something to help someone? Even if all I did was call my grandmother and let her know that I love her and that out of all of her grandkids, somebody didn't forget to call her today. I'm a millennial. Thousands of kids are not calling their parents or grandparents. So I'll take a couple minutes and I'll call. Or I will, you know, make sure that my brother doesn't need help with his bills. He's still a broke college student. Something small. Maybe I'll send him $20 and say, hey, gas is on me this week. So did I do something to help someone? Am I as healthy as I can be inside of my control? So, hey, did I even remember to eat a fruit today? I meal prep, so I probably had vegetables, but did I eat an apple or a banana? Did I do any kind of exercise? Maybe. Hey, day's not over yet. Let's take the dogs on another 15-minute walk. Let's grab an apple and eat it while we walk. Something simple. I don't have to be out here Lance Armstronging. I'm not, anything crazy, not Wonder Woman. I'm just going to do something for my health, make a healthy choice. I can't control getting sick, but I can control the fact that I, went outside and got vitamin D. Here you go. And then the final thing, you know, am I functioning? Well, yeah. Yeah, I am. I picked my 5 things off the list. I got those things done. Guess what? That's enough. My list of 20 is a list of things I'd like to do.
Love
Okay?
this.
My
Oh,
list of 5 is what I decided for myself I was going to do. It's what I said, I'm making that commitment to me. If I fulfilled that commitment, then I've done what I said I was going to do, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. And that's success.
wow, Erin, I am so thankful and grateful for this interview. This is so beautiful. The way you are just so in touch with who you are and how you are running your life. It's just, it's beautiful. You have got this down and you are definitely an inspiration and you are such a success story. And this interview is going to help so many women. And I'm so grateful that we got this time together to really go through the nuts and bolts of being a business owner that is in touch with her soul's purpose and graceful about her journey and aware and intuitive and all of the things that are below the surface of the actual so-called business, right? You're doing the business stuff beautifully and helping people, but you're also doing yourself beautifully as well. The way you are merging those two together is success. That's a success story to me. So thank you so much for sharing this. It's beautiful. And for all you women out there, I know that you gain so much richness from listening or watching this interview. So thank you so much, Erin. And before we fully sign off, can you please share your website again so people know how to find out more about you and connect with you?
So once again, my business is called Very Tardis Marketing, and my website is VERITARDUSMARKETING.com.
Well, I told you these interviews are here to inspire you. So please get in touch with Erin. And what I like to always say to all you beautiful business owners out there is follow your heart. It will never steer you wrong. If it's in your heart, it's meant for you. The how and the when, that's up in the air. But just follow your path and enjoy the journey and just keep moving forward toward your dreams and never give them up. Bring joy to yourself and you'll naturally bring joy to others. So, there you go. So until next time, I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Go ahead and get in front of your business and follow your path. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.